Welcome. This is La Madame coming to you with another reading. This reading will be under the blood moon, which is March 4th, 2026. Spirit guides, ancestors, white light. You will come into this reading. Plain sight. Guys, what do you have? What can I learn? What can I learn for this blood moon? What can I learn for this blood moon? So yes, I'll be doing a reading. I will actually, let's see here, I'll actually bring in some love messages, a few love messages, and then we'll do a reading, and then after that we can maybe do a few oracle cards. So let's go. I hope everyone's doing well. Again, this is La Madame. First card out is communicate. Receive, excuse me, receive and express the truth. Fear, expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on negative thoughts. Patience, manifestations are on the way. So we'll stay there. So far, these are clues to what may be coming into the new moon, under the new moon, blood moon, persons, collectives, him, her, him. Yeah, this reading is for you. So it's saying communicate, receive, and express the truth. So at this time, it is important that persons get out anything and everything that is on your heart, anything that is, swallowing at your pride. Now is the time to communicate, speak these words, express these words, and discernment, always seeking for the truth, because you don't want to be made out of a fool. You don't want to believe a lie. So, truth is where it's at. Some individuals may have a fear of what's to come in the future, not knowing where they're going, not knowing what's ahead of them can cause a lot of fear. But it's asked at this time that, you stay brave, and not to waste time on negative thoughts, because it's doing nothing but distorting you. It's taking away from you. When you think about, it's almost like a thief at night. A thief will come at night expecting everyone to be asleep or everyone to be away from home, maybe on vacation. And a thief's mind frame is, okay, we'll get them when they least expect it. And then that's when the burglar will come through the night, through out the window, or, what have you. I'm not a thief, but you know what I mean. So when you think of that type of mind frame, you want to prepare for these things. So you know that these things are possible, these thoughts, these habits, these things that are just, they're not good things. So it's asked that you defeat the enemy and that you place your fear, I don't even say place your fear. You become of something greater. You overcome this fear, the fear of the unexpected. And once you can get over that fear, just a little bit, guidance, the universe, God, um, good karma, dharma will come and will help you along the way. But you do have to help yourself. People sometimes think that, oh, I'll go ask a reader, I'll go ask a such and such to tell me my future, to tell me what to do. But really, you have to do your work too. And your work is to do whatever's asked of you. It's not just about you sitting back and putting everything on that person. You have to help yourself. And so, yes. So patience, manifestations are on the way. If you can have patience with yourself, give yourself some grace, say, you know what, I'm not Superman, I'm not Wonder Woman, I am a human being. I make mistakes. I don't always do things right. If you can accept that we're not perfect beings and that we make mistakes and we're not perfect, that shows a great gratitude to your expectancy, in life. It plays, it's very big of you, and it places a great value. And so it's asked that you have patience. Just a little FYI. So now let's get into the reading. So I kind of shuffled the cards already prematurely. So we'll just get into it. Again, this is Ramadan. First card is the moon. The full moon. The moon. Yeah. So, yep, the full moon. The moon is, there's most definitely a lot of activity going on in the atmosphere. And during your private moments, your thoughts and things of that nature, it could be distorted a little. Some truths can be bent a little. Maybe you receive half truths. It's like where you're just not you're not sold on certain things. Things that you're just not sold. You're not easy to be sold. So at this time, the moon is pretty much, it's kind of like you're in this mental you're having a mental conflict, because everything that has happened during the day, during a time frame, during a season, during a cycle, has taken a place, and it has distorted your view. So when you're at night, when you're thinking everyone's sleeping, when no one can see, when you're in private, when you're alone, you're going to be faced with these things. And so at this time, it's really relevant that we face these, I don't know why I wanted to say demons, because I don't know, but yeah, it says face these demons that come and distort our vision, our view, our pathways. It is, it's just time to face up and to get out of this illusion that we sometimes hide in. We, meaning myself and the collective. So what's crossing the moon is the Knight of Swords. There's a specific person that has a word to say. And it's a must that they get this message to you at this time. It could be, someone could be expecting a message, in some form or some way. The Knight of Swords is coming in on his white horse. Of course, he has that swinging that sword around. This is during the daylight, like during the day, the daytime. So I feel that, someone has a second opinion, or they have a strong word. They want to speak of this. Whatever this moon is affected, whatever these energies, emotions that are within yourselves, someone, a certain person, has a word to say about it. What sits beneath it is the Page of Pentacles. You know, this energy somewhat seems like it's coming from a very immature type of way. You know, it kind of reminds me of a high school relationship, you know, a junior high, high school relationship, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, you're just not sure of yourself and you have all these doubts and, you know, and all this shyness. And so I believe that this energy or this person is behaving in such a way that, you know, wants to come with a, you know, wants to come around, but is coming around in a very, I don't know, playful, immature way. It's like, let me try this. Let's see if it works. First, let me give you an example. Say you're in high school and you see somebody that you really want to get to know. Now, this is like in the mind of a high schooler. And you've never saw this person before, and you're like, wow, this person is, oh man, every time I see them, like, I don't know, my heart starts beating, like, I like this person, I really like them. And so in your mind, you want to step up to this person. You want this person to notice you. You know, this is kind of like the vibe. The Page of Pentacles is kind of like, you know, you're trying to come out of your shell. Like, do you notice me? Do you see me? And, you know, you wave and say, hi, how you doing? Such and such. And, you know, hoping that that person will remember your name. So this energy wants to move in very slow and in a very clever way. Moving from the past is the Eight of Swords. Although this person is moving in this energy, this very young energy, they're faced with some really strong and some big decisions. We're hit with the Eight of Swords. So this is where we have to face reality. You know, it's no longer an illusion. This is real life stuff. When you think of the Eight of Swords, you think, you know, 8 is almost at 10. You know, so, and 10 is the highest in the cards, of the tarot cards. So if we're at 8 of Swords, we're really faced with a lot of serious type of situations, you know, and it's very domestic. You know, you've dealt with, you know, some sort of domestic relationship in the past. And, you know, maybe you're wanting to come out with something new. Maybe this energy is saying, you know, in the past, yeah, I suffered a loss. You know, I had a bad relationship, coming out of a bad divorce, coming out of a bad relationship. And now I want something new. I want something fresh, something brand new. This reading can go either way. So let's keep seeking the answers, guys. What sits above the moon is the Six of Wands. Yes. So the Six of Wands, yes, is a card where this is it. You know, this energy is like, I'm going to make myself known. This is my time. My time is now. And this person, this energy in the Six of Wands is no longer wanting to sit in the shadow. You know, this person, this energy, the collectives, you know, they're wanting to be noticed and they're going to take a chance. They're coming forward and they're expecting, you know, actually, I wouldn't even say really an expectation. This is a time where persons and people, maybe the community or persons are viewing you as, you know, a very wise soul. You know, this is where you're getting all of the, um, you know, the gifts and you know, and persons are wanting to gift you. They're wanting to tell you, you know, oh, you've done such good. You know, you deserve the best. You deserve this. You've been through so much. You deserve it. This is where, you know, you accept this honor from other persons. You know, this is a time for you to shine, for you to accept. This is a time for all the hard work and everything you've been through to, you know, to be noticed. And so that's what the Six of Wands could mean. Moving into the present energy is the Five of Pentacles. Oh, but Five of Pentacles. You know, Five of Pentacles in this reading is telling me that your chapter, you're not at a full chapter. You still have to work on some things. You know, you're wanting to move forward, but, you know, it's that but. You know, maybe it's family, maybe it's your children, maybe it's financial reasons, but these are reasons that are really serious. These are serious. What's the word I want to say? The Five of Pentacles is a need to protect and to get yourself out of the cold. It's kind of like a warning. To me, I feel like the Five of Pentacles is a warning. Like, remember where you've been, where you've come from. Don't forget where you've been. Don't make the same mistakes now. You got a second chance. But at the same time, the Five of Pentacles, when I look at this card, these persons are walking past the church. They're walking past it. That it's kind of like clues, like, here, come here. Safety's here. Come pray. Come do this. Save yourselves. But they're kind of like prideful. So they're kind of like, nah, let's just keep it moving. Let's just, why stop now? Let's just keep on. You see how they're passing the church house. Now the church house could actually be the place they need to go to redeem themselves, and so I don't know. What sits at the end, at the bottom of the deck, is the Emperor. Of course, this is the Emperor. Oh yeah. So him or her, there's someone out here that wants to make their self relevant. I'm excited about that. I have to admit, I'm excited because I am so looking forward to, a new beginning, meeting someone new, someone I've never met before. And I am excited about it because I know that it is coming. It's almost like I'm getting ready. I'm preparing myself, getting ready for my Prince Charming. I'm getting ready for my husband. And it is just such a exciting time. So yeah, so the Emperor made me happy to see that, that all this work and all this stuff that we're trying to clear out to, to end, to pretty much put it in, what's behind us. We're trying to go ahead and deaden what's behind us so we can move forward. And so that's what this reading is really about. So let's keep going. Queen of Cups, yes. This Emperor is looking for a Queen of Cups. Take it as you will, him or her, whoever's the femme, whoever's the mask. Just switch the roles around, okay? So, yeah, this Emperor is wanting to find their significant other. They are accepting to find, love in a very, what's the word I want to say? In a very different way, meaning they're accepting, normally they have these rules like, oh, I'll only date these type of persons. But this time they're open. They're like, just bring me someone, just bring me someone different. And I believe that that's on the horizon, someone different, a different vibe, a dreamy person, a person that just stays on your mind and you're just looking forward to, seeing them, you know, seeing them, yeah, like on a second date. So yeah, that's promising. So the Six of Cups is the energy that could be persons that are, the influence is the Six of Cups, which is very promising. I feel that this energy is moving in the right direction. I feel that everything that has come up until now, under this full moon, is needed and is on its way. We're looking above this energy. We're leaving what is behind. I feel that this reading, with the communicate, the fear, the patience, this reading so far is leading me to believe that we must go ahead and just look forward, take a chance, face those fears. You don't have to keep holding on to what you're used to. Like, oh, I'm used to this. Why do something different? Why not do something different? Another person can love you in a different type of way, in a way that you could never imagine. But if you're always stuck to what you're used to, then you'll never know. And that doesn't mean, and that's not saying, oh, leave your marriage, find something new. Oh, this is, to all of the persons that are in a relationship. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a single persons that don't have a significant other, that does not have a person to come home to at night, you know, um, that whose phone doesn't ring all through the day with, oh, good morning, did you sleep well, or good night, and trying to link up with you and hook up with you, wanting to see you. This is to those persons, and it's very hopeful. This reading is very hopeful to them, and to the persons that's in a relationship. It's you're already a step ahead of us. So now all you have to do is just reintegrate. A new you. Do something new. Keep that fire lit. Keep it sexy. Keep it very mysterious. Keep it hot. you know and so it's just a time that we all work on what we need to work on to better ourselves, and to continue letting that love unfurl. So hope or fear is a Knight of Wands, wondering if you have enough, what it takes. You've been through a lot. The Eight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, you've been through so much, and it's just like, okay, so I've been through this, I've been through war, I carry these scars and these bruises. But yeah, they'll heal as time goes on. Time will heal all wounds, and it's just time to let in for another day. If you can just let go of the past and move forward, um, I feel like that's all you really need to do. You don't have to do much. Just have an open mind. I feel like, us collectives, persons, we just need to have an open mind. We need to get out of our element, what we're used to. Like, oh, well, why, things been this way all this time. Why change? Why do this? That's the thing. When you meet a person, you meet them a certain way. And where we get messed up at is we start changing, thinking that the other person is no longer like, oh, yeah, I used to get up. I used to wear lingerie at night. I used to prepare meals for my mate. I used to do this, run bath water. I used to open up doors. I used to give a kiss before I left to work. I used to say I love you. I used to do all these things. And then they just forget about it because they feel like, oh, we're already married, or we're already in a relationship. And then they stop. That's where we mess up at. You have to continue on. You don't stop, because when you do that, you're allowing for an innocent bystander, someone to slip in, and then you can't be upset when your mate is looking at somebody else's table instead of looking you in your eyes. So, just words to the wise. So, last card is Empress. Oh, I love it. The Empress. We have the Empress at the end. This reading is so true, and the Emperor. Have the Empress and the Emperor at the end of this reading. So promising. So I feel this reading is everything I just said and spoke of. I vision it in the future. This is something to look forward to. Most definitely look forward to. From now on, let's just keep that mind frame. We're not going to keep saying, oh, back in the day, or how it used to be. No. We're not going to keep talking about how it used to be. We're not going to talk about that. This is something new. This is a new year, a new season. This is a new term, a new time. We already pressed set. We're already in the flow. So let's just move forward. Let's move forward and see where it goes. And then if it's meant to be, if love is really meant to be, it will always come back to you. But it's not going to come back with demands, with greed, with all that type of stuff. When a person comes back, a person has to come back changed, willing to fight, willing to become something greater than what they were. If they were a lousy boyfriend or girlfriend, they have to change those ways. They have to become less of themselves and more for their mate. They have to care about their mate. They have to care. So don't be so sold on trying to keep the past, like, oh, let me just stick to what I'm used to. Love on yourself. Get yourself ready for what's to come, what could come. You can meet someone in a grocery store. You can meet someone at a gas station. You can meet someone anywhere. You don't know where you're going to meet this person at. And I'm speaking again to the singles. I'm speaking to singles. So let's finish it off with, let's see here. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do the night oracle cards, and then we'll complete this reading. Let's see here. Okay. Movement. High Priestess Earth and Lust. And I'll choose one more. Summon. So it's time to make that move. You know, you're sitting there wondering, twiddling your fingers. Should I call? Should I call? Should I do this? Should I do that? Yeah, just do it. Just go ahead and do it. I mean, what is it gonna hurt? You know, be brave, be in control, be secure for yourself, meaning whether this person says yes, no, or turns me down or rejects me or not, I'm still the bigger person because I followed my heart. I was true to my heart. And if the other person does not accept me for who I am, I'm too good for that person anyway. And so keep that type of mind frame. But it's time now. The time is now. If you want to communicate with a person, um, you know, and it's really, you feel that, you know, just with a phone call, maybe a visit, I don't know, think of something. Be creative. But the time is now. So it's time to make movement. You know, it's time to light that fire. The High Priestess of Earth complements this, wants this to happen, is well grounded. Like I said, either or, whatever happens, you're still going to be standing on ground. You're still going to be okay. Either way, you're going to be fine. Either way. And then we have the lust. You know your body wants to. You know you really want to. You know you want to reach out. You know you want to, you know, let this person know your deep, darkest thoughts and your visions and your fantasies. You want to explore these things. I know you do. You do. So make it a reality. And then summons. Be very mindful that when you do be mindful, summons to me means be mindful and be careful for what you ask for. If you ask for something or someone to come into your life, don't be surprised when you get it. And don't be surprised if it comes with turns and twists. And, you know, some of them might come with red flags, but I don't think so. I feel like two great minds think alike. I think if a person is a true soulmate, then you will align with that person, you know, and I'm very hopeful about that. I really do believe in that. I believe that you can, um, you know, you can fall in love with a person after meeting them for the very first time. You know, sometimes you can look in a person's eyes and you can really tell like whether that person is going to be around for the long haul or not. You know, a lot of times we're able to, when we're in tune with ourselves, we're able to pick up these vibes and we'll pick them up, the energies of other persons. But it's not saying to use magic to win over a soul. It's to let things happen in their true natural extent. Let things unfurl the way they will. You don't have to do anything but have the encouragement, be encouraged, be secure, and be truthful. Be yourself, and that's it. That's all that's asked of us. So, with that being said, you have heard it from La Madame, the teacher. I feel like a lot of times I'm more like teaching, you know, than reading. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I got this reading out. I hope it serves us some good. Um, and yeah, this is one read out of many. I hope you all enjoyed this reading. There'll be more. Enjoy yourselves. And don't forget to take a chance. Goodbye. Good night.